What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, Sheryl Lee Ralph, the actress, came out a couple of days ago, and she said that many, many years ago, when she was on a network, she didn't reveal the network, on a show that she didn't reveal. She said, I think she said she was at some event, I guess, where some of the stars of the network were. I think it was something like that. I might be wrong about that detail. But anyway, she said somebody came up from behind, grabbed her by the neck, turned her around, shoved their tongue down her throat, and proceeded to intimately have their way with her in an unwanted way. Unwanted fashion, I should say. Now, when asked whether this was Judge Mathis, she said no. Her and Judge Mathis are cool. So many people presume that she's talking about Judge Joe Brown. Well, Judge Joe Brown came out on social media and asked people to cease and desist and attaching him to this and accusing him of this. And if they don't, he's going to, pursue legal matters. As he would say, if these accusations don't stop, I will be forced to pursue legal action, including a lawsuit of defamation of character. Well, people are saying, well, that's just a guilty conscience. Like, you've never been accused, so why are you feeling guilty? But this is my defense in his part. She never said who she was talking about. People are assuming it's him because they can only think of a couple of judges. But I'm assuming, look, let's just say for the sake of argument, I'm assuming she means when she was on Moesha. That would have been the late 90s into the early 2000s. Right? But there were a lot of judge shows on back then. If you remember, it was like an explosion of judge programs back then. It wasn't just those two. And I hate to just speak ill of the dead, but Judge Mills Lane had a show. How do we know she's not talking about him? Larry Elder, the Moral Court, he had a show. She could be talking about anybody. And at the end of the day, why is it that people are just assuming it's him and putting his name out there? That's not fair. That's not right. He hasn't been accused of anything. So yeah, he's probably realizing that people keep putting his name to this. There were a lot of judge shows back then, and we don't even know if it's the Moesha years. It could be a lot of different male judges. Shit, for all we know, she could talk about Judge Wapner. I don't think she is, but look, if she wants to be courageous, she needs to sit up there and name who she's talking about. I'm not trying to make the supposed victim. I'm not trying to shame the victim, but at this point, by her being so vague, she's really doing a disservice to people. Name the person who you're accusing. Why are you holding back? It doesn't make any sense at this point. I don't get it. Because anybody that had a show back then is subject to suspicion and having their reputation sullied. So I don't like when people do this. You know what I'm saying? Someone just told me this. This is a good point. When Mayor Doka was accused of adultery, even though he's not married, the person who he had a relationship with, their identity was protected. This woman, Shirley Ralph, she never revealed who did anything to her. So why are people just assuming that it's Judge Joe Brown without any evidence? So it's okay to just throw people out there without any evidence? Because remember when we was trying to figure out who that woman was, we were told leave her alone. Now I'm not trying to make this person the victim. That's not the same thing. But we can't go around just accusing people without hard evidence, or at least her saying who she's talking about. Who are you talking about? And then if she names names, then we be like, okay, well, you've been accused of that. But we can't just go off of fucking, well, I think she's talking about him. I think. That ain't enough. And we don't even know if this guy's black. There's a lot of different judges that had shows back in the day. Shit. Remember Jerry Springer had a fucking show. Remember Judge Jerry? Remember that shit? And we know what the Jerry Springer show was about. So I'm just saying. And to go back to Larry Elder, hey, you're not supposed to accuse anybody of anything, but look into his past. Larry Elder got a shady past. So I'm just saying, man, at the end of the day, I don't think it's right for people to just assume she's talking about Judge Joe Brown. And everybody on social media like, yeah, see, it has to be him. See, if it ain't Judge Mathis, it gotta be him. How the fuck it gotta just be him? That's how people get fucking hurt, man. All it takes is doing a little investigative work to open up, you know what I'm saying, open up the suspect book. And to be honest with you, we really shouldn't even be speculating because she's being too vague. What show is she talking about? I mean, we're assuming she's talking about Moesha, but maybe she's talking about another show. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.